Hello and welcome. This is going to be a very brief presentation on Something Software Incorporated, or SSI, as it will be referenced throughout the presentation. And it's going to focus primarily on the introduction of our AMP program, or Advertising and Marketing Program, which is designed to greatly enhance one's business as an associate with Something Software. So let's get started. So SSI, what are we? Well, we are a free online game platform where charities and businesses can sponsor our games for free. Players also play for free, and they have a chance to win prizes every time they play while having fun and helping charities and giving the gift of giving. Okay, so what's in it for the players? Well, players can win gift cards, they can win auction bids, and they can win additional gift points, which I'll get into in more detail throughout the presentation. The auction bids, I'll just make a note that we have 2 penny auctions on our platform now, and they are the only penny auctions in the world to have really 2 unique traits. One, they are the only auctions in the world that are instant win penny auctions, where it's not determined on the clock or the amount of time left on an item. It's determined on a pre-selected bid number. So if it's the second bid, 46.58, and you happen to click that bid, you instantly win that item. We also have zero cost auction items, where if you were to win a zero cost auction item, you actually don't pay anything for that item unless it involves shipping, if it's not delivered to you electronically. Okay, so players then donate their additional gift points that they won playing, generating additional revenue for a charity and the enrolling associate of that charity. And then players can use bids that were won to bid on auction items such as HD TVs, vacations, gift cards, iPads, etc., which they can win for pennies on the dollar, as I'll show you. And players also have a chance to win the Lucky's monthly BMW giveaway. Very easy, and we'll walk you through that as well. Okay, so here is our current game platform. As you can see, we have 9 games ranging from trivia, a bunch of card games, solitaire and hearts and spades, a dice game and Lucky's Yahtzee, and our 2 auctions, Mini Bid Mogul and Bid Mogul. And we plan on having hundreds more games featured on our platform over the next 12 to 24 months. Okay, so every time a player plays, they have a chance to win what we call instant prizes. In this case, as you can see on the screen, this particular round, a player won 10,874 gift points that they could donate to any charity of their choice and help them out, because donated points turn into revenue for a charity. And they also won 25 game bids, which they could instantly start playing on one of our 2 auctions and going for all kinds of incredible merchandise featured on the auction. And this can happen anytime you play on our platform. Now here's one example of a particular individual who, like we said, won an incredible item for pennies on the dollar. They actually received a 98% savings on this item. They won an HD TV, almost a $3,100 TV for $61.27. So they paid the $61.27 plus shipping and saved a boatload of money and got an incredible item. And this happens around the clock 24/7 on our auctions. Okay, so players receive gift points. Those gift points earned while playing and winning can only be used to donate to a charity. In other words, they're only relevant to charities. They translate into revenue for those charities. And businesses and qualified associates also benefit from getting players that play and donate their gift points. So at this point, you're probably saying, well, I heard a lot of the word free. Free for players, free for charities, free for businesses. So where does the revenue come from? How are the costs paid for? And as you can see, the circled banner ads here on the left and on the right of each of our games on our platform is where the revenue is generated. This is where the money comes from. And our system is based on a pay-per-view, not a pay-per-click. So players are not required to click on the ads in order for the platform to generate revenue for all those involved, which is fantastic. The advertisers know that you're seeing their ads because of the moves you're making on the game. So if you're, in this case, moving cards around on Lucky's Deuces, or you're on Solitaire moving cards around and you're answering questions on trivia, etc., that's amounting to a length of time you're on the platform. And therefore, advertisers know that their ad was seen. So it's cost per impression. So it's pay-per-view. And that's a wonderful thing on our platform. The more players we have on our platform seeing these ads, the more revenue that's generated. Okay? So a little bit about the founders and those running the company here at Something Software. Derek Slattery is the visionary CEO and founder of the company. Derek built a tremendous work ethic in the hotel service industry and garnered marketing experience from the mentorship of industry marketing leaders at the Oakley Corporation. Additionally, being a professional athlete himself playing golf, Derek learned that focus, effort, and desire it takes to achieve real success. Derek has been a visionary leader in online games and marketing for the last 7 years, and he obtained a U.S. patent for his groundbreaking ideas for trivia. As an experienced leader, Derek has built and directed in-house and international teams in countries such as India, China, and of course, the United States. Russ Curran, the president and co-founder, he is a senior sales and marketing executive with extensive experience leading sales, marketing operations, and brand development for growing wholesale manufacturers. Russ has increased and generated millions of dollars in additional revenue for companies such as Rockport, Geox, and Atonic. Russ is well versed in analyzing competitive landscapes and designing market vision and branding strategies to aggressively penetrate and expand into new markets. Russ established his own company in 2010 to help individuals and companies learn how to leverage distribution, channel strategic partnerships, and identify and attract new sales opportunities. And Frank Corbett, another co-founder and director of our business development program. Frank has been an athlete and an athletic coach for over 20 years, a trained gymnast who competed nationally, then moved on to coaching future Olympians. In his 12-year career in the mortgage and financial industries, he used his belief in trainings at well-known companies such as Fidelity Investments to initiate and implement national training programs, which allowed him to receive national award recognition from the company. He developed sales and training presentations, mentoring businesses on training, and did additional motivational speaking at corporate events throughout the United States. Now, a little bit more about the company. We were established in September of 2013, and we started featuring charities on our charities board in February of 2014, and we started enrolling businesses in April of 2014. It is SSI's goal to become the largest contributor to nonprofit organizations in the world over the next 3 years. So how do you become an associate with SSI? Well, it's really easy. You register as a player for free on luckysgames.com. You sign the proper associate agreement, and it's one of two, either a business development associate or a player associate. You email the signed agreement to corporate. You buy business cards one time, because if you are going to be represented with our company as an associate, it needs to be professional and done the right way, and you need to be representing the company in the right way. It's a one-time requirement, and you're done. That's as difficult as it gets. Now, to register a player, it takes only seconds. Again, you go to luckysgame.com / the referral username of whoever invited you to our platform, and you can see the registration screen in front of you. It just requires some basic information: first name, last name, password, best email address. You choose your own username and you register, and you're on and playing on our platform within about 15 seconds. So what do associates do at SSI? Well, player associates simply go get more players that love playing games and love to help charities, and they love winning items on our platform for free. And this is even before you attempt any kind of training on our platform. Business development associates go get players as well, and then they start the training in the back office that's designed specifically for business development associates. And they work with their sponsor, a person who introduced them to this business, or experienced BDA, to begin approaching charities and businesses of their own. And then optionally, but guaranteed, you can join our AMP program. And AMP is a guaranteed program, which I'll get into great detail in here in a minute. And that's our advertising and marketing program designed to accelerate your business. So let's get right into AMP and what it's all about. So what is the concept behind AMP? Well, SSI was planning to market heavily and directly enroll thousands of new players. But instead, we found a way to pass that benefit on to our associates. Now again, this is an optional advertising program with no risk for the associate that decides to participate. It's an easy program to share with anyone, and one that will benefit everyone involved in the program. An associate's SSI business should go viral as a result of AMP, and there's no limit to your earnings potential. So what is this? So let's go over an overview. So AMP is highly targeted banner ad campaigns specifically designed for you. And it's going to reach a collective audience of the entire US population through close to 1 million websites in the US. It runs in advertising cycles, which is a 30-day period, with the end goal being to meet each associate's advertising commitment. And the minimum amount of $250 per month is the basic minimum amount to get started in the program. So that's the baseline level, and from there you can go up, and there is no limit. So as an example, an associate that has a basic minimum level requirement, a $250 advertising commitment, let's say in your first 30 days that you didn't reach that advertising commitment and that you hit $220, not the $250. That associate will not be billed again until that $220 reaches the $250 advertising commitment. Whatever day they reach the guarantee or the advertising commitment, the next 30-day cycle begins. So if it doesn't happen on day 30 and it happens on day 35 or 38, that's when the associate would be charged an additional $250 because they've already made $250 at that point, and the advertising begins once again. So this is a rinse and repeat on your advertising commitment, watching your earnings base grow organically month to month. Now, continuing that overview, SSI does all the work for you. So they create all of the banner ads, and we focus banner ads on every one of our games in multiple ways. We place them with your embedded code linked to you so that when you have signups from those banner ads, they're coded to you forever. And you watch new customer signups come in on autopilot, tracked in your back office. There is no risk on your part as your advertising commitment is guaranteed. You simply won't be billed until your commissions reach your advertising commitment. Now, this should be met earlier and earlier in the month as months progress, since players keep coming back to play month after month after month. As an example, your first month with AMP, you might reach your advertising commitment on day 29 or 30, or 35 or 38, as I said earlier. In the second month, you may reach that same threshold on day 22. In the third month, you may reach it on day 15, etc. The associate will not be billed until after 30 days, whether or not they reach their advertising commitment early in the month. Okay? Now, highly targeted banner ads. So these banner ads will be specific, as I mentioned earlier, to each game. So a trivia ad, a solitaire ad, a penny auction ad, etc. The solitaire ad will be placed on sites that have an interest in solitaire, right? Brilliant. We're fishing where the fish are. Keywords typed in search engines such as Google for solitaire. Now, when they click on a particular site they're searching on a keyword for, your banner ad will appear on it. And this is revolutionary. And this is something that has never been done before. AMP advertising commitment. A minimum advertising commitment of $250 a month for 12 months with no limit on what you can spend on your banner advertising, and you can upgrade at any time going into a new month. So if you wanted to take that 250 to 500 or 750 or 1,000, you can do that right from the comfort of your own back office. So again, in your first month, you didn't get to your 250, and after 30 days, it was 220. You will not be charged another 250 on day 31 or your second month until the 220 has reached the 250 and your advertising commitment has been met. And you'll have a complete tracking system to show this in your back office that will update minute to minute. The advertising commitment you make with AMP is the amount that will be guaranteed. That's important to understand. So if you commit to $750 a month as part of AMP, your guarantee will be on reaching that advertising commitment of $750 expected in 30 days. Now, beyond the minimum advertising commitment of $250, the commitments go up in blocks of 100, which has to do with how we buy and trade banner ads. Really simple. So for example, you could spend the minimum of $250 and then it goes $350, $450, $550, etc. So how do you join AMP? Very simple process. First, you register yourself on luckysgames.com as a customer through your sponsor or whoever invited you into SSI. Second, you fill out and sign the appropriate associate agreement, either the business development associate agreement or the player associate agreement, and submit to SSI for processing. In your SSI back office under promotions, click on the AMP program and follow the steps to sign up. Your new business card orders will be half off as a member of AMP, as a perk or a bonus, if you will. So it's 50% off or $32.50 for an order of 500 cards for AMP participants. You simply email Kathy with a K at somethingsoftware.com once you have joined AMP and prior to you ordering your business cards so she can go in and apply your store credit and then you can order your cards and get them at half off. So let's talk about some of the amazing associate estimated potential earnings. Now, this first, what I'll walk you through, this first set of numbers is based on an SSI national audience of 10,000 people playing a day or more on the SSI platform. So in the first column on the left-hand side, we'll talk about estimated earnings per day. So assuming we're at 10,000 people playing a day or more, which we are rapidly approaching, at 100 players that are signed up directly under you and playing for 10 to 15 minutes, this should equate to a minimum of $25 a day. At 250 players signed up under you and playing for that same 10 to 15 minutes a day, that's almost $63 a day. At 500 players, it's $125 a day. And at 1,000 players, you're approaching $250 a day. Now, on the right-hand side, this is simply your estimated earnings potential per year based on the left-hand side numbers. So at 100 players, that's a little over 9,000 a year. 250 players, a little over 22,000 a year. At 500 players, a little over $45,000 a year. And at 1,000 players, you're creeping over $90,000 a year from playing fun-free games. Now let's make it a little more exciting, and let's take our national audience up, excuse me, at SSI, over 1 million people a day playing on a consistent basis. The numbers really start to get very, very exciting. And again, these numbers can fluctuate wildly once you get over 1 million people because you're getting into the arena of what we call TV type money. And it can be as conservative as $2 per player for every 10 to 15 minutes generated in revenue, or it can be as high as $10, $20, $40 per player for every 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to base these numbers off of the $2 and use a conservative approach. And even with a conservative approach, the numbers are mind-boggling. So at those same 100 players underneath you, okay, once we get to 1 million players in total playing a day on our platform, now you're making $200 a day. At the 250 players underneath you that you've signed up on your own or in combination through AMP or from AMP directly, $500 a day. At 500 players, it's $1,000 a day, and at 1,000 players sponsored to you, that's $2,000 a day from playing fun-free games. And you can simply look at the annual numbers on the right-hand side. Starting at the 100 players at 73,000, going all the way up to the 1,000 players, you'd be earning over $700,000 a year once we get over 1 million people projected potential earnings, which is just awesome for playing fun-free games, winning prizes, and helping charities and their causes, which is very gratifying. Now, let's call out another example, earnings potential using the AMP program. And this is based on the referral associate hitting the ad commitment in the 30 days. Okay, so the first bullet, advertising commitment for you at the minimum of $250 in your first advertising cycle. Now, if you went out and you signed up 5 direct referrals who also do the minimum of $250, you're going to earn 50% or $625 from those 5 when their advertising commitment is met. Okay, if you have 20 direct referrals who do the minimum, again $250, you earn 50% or $2,500 when their advertising commitment is met. And let's say your 20 direct referrals you brought in went out and got 3 of their own direct referrals, which culminates in 60 AMP participants on your second level, and they're direct to them. And again, all of them do the minimum at $250. you earn 25% on that level, or $3,750 when their advertising commitment is met. So in total, using this example, combined with your 20 direct referrals, those direct referrals, which represent 60, that's $2,500 from the 20 direct, that's $3,750 from the 60 under your direct referrals, and then of course your own $250. So when all these advertising commitments are met in that advertising cycle, it will total $6,500 or more, because again, that's the minimum guarantee on your advertising commitment. And we know as we get going, we'll be blowing those numbers away. So these numbers will grow far beyond what you're seeing here. Now, a couple other things to call out about SSI that are happening in the background, in addition to the excitement around the AMP program. We have hundreds of deals that are literally in the works. We've got approaching 90 charities that are signed up already. We've got, I think, close to 50 businesses that are signed up with us already, with hundreds on the way of being closed and coming on board our platform. We're working on some big things like the Arena Football League is very close to signing an agreement with us and coming on board with their 20 million plus fans. We're working on multiple large corporations that each have thousands of employees, where these corporations are looking at the benefit of our platform to pay for such things such as healthcare costs for all the employees, for having each of the employees play a game for 10 to 15 minutes, which is exceptional. We're working with large multiple school districts in Idaho, Chicago, and soon Florida, and of course across the country. And we're rolling out the United Youth Football League, which has 130,000 football players, and of course 130,000 sets of parents for each one of those players, with hundreds of supporting organizations. And this is rolling out in September of 2014. So in collection with our AMP program from our associate base and all of the good work that our associates are doing in these fields that I'm mentioning here on the screen, we should have no problem at eclipsing 1 million people on our platform playing daily over the next several months. Now, the keys to success for an associate are players registering under the associate referral name, very important, so they're coded to you. All players playing at least 10 to 15 minutes daily. If you want to play longer, we love that, but at least 10 to 15 minutes, because that's where the magic happens with advertisers. And players donating their gift points to a given charity or charities at the end of a round, before they log out, or before midnight Eastern Standard Time every day. The donating of the gift points triggers payment to associates, charities, and businesses. Okay, last slide. Additional benefits for AMP participants. If you want to sign up charities and businesses, then you would become a Business Development Associate, or BDA for short, as part of AMP, and you would automatically be upgraded to our highest associate level on that side, being the Executive Associate, increasing your earnings potential greatly. Now, on the other side of things, if you want to come in and just focus on signing up players, which a lot of people do, then you would sign up as a Player Associate, okay? And as part of AMP, as a Player Associate, you would automatically be upgraded to an Executive Player Associate, also increasing your earning potential greatly. And there's plenty of training in our back office to show you exactly what I'm referencing by these two specific things of increasing your earnings potential. Business card orders, again, would be at 50% off because you're a participating AMP member. And all AMP members will be receiving guarantees on your advertising commitment, as I previously noted. So by all means, get back to the person who invited you to this presentation. Come on in and join the SSI family, and we welcome you aboard our wonderful mission to become the largest charitable contributor in the world over the next 3 years. Cheers.